That hood on that 12 car or the 22 car clip.
Well, it just shows you the power that he's able to push in that car. We've seen that before, but I tell you, I've been watching, riding along with Ryan Blaney, and the flip side of this conversation, you got to see his eyes inside this car. Let's see if we can get that. All that.
Yeah, well, and as hard as they're working, it makes me wonder about the speed of those cars. I know that the guys on the bottom of the racetrack are formed up pretty good, but typically when you start pushing like this and you see Logano is doing his job, you just don't want to have spacing in between those cars. You want to have that space as limited as possible through the corners, and as soon as you exit that corner, right back to the bumper on the car in front of you to maximize that push down the straightaway. You don't want to put them in a bad position in the corner, but you want to be able to utilize the straightaway like they're doing right here. So
those Penske Fords are working as hard as they can to hold pace with the 4 RFK Fords lined up out front.
Here it is. Watch Ryan Blaney as you're riding along inside that car. Watch his eyes as that 22 gets to him. He'll hear that spotter tell him, here he comes, big push, and he gets pretty nervous. His eyes get a little bigger.
Well, and Kyle Busch, you see our pole sitter of the Daytona 500 right there in the 8 car, now pulled up in front of Ryan Blaney. He wasn't going anywhere on the bottom lane because he knows those RFK team cars aren't going to leave each other hanging this early in the race. So when you have somebody that's lined up and see him coming on the outside, the best thing to do is move up in front of him and try to be the leader of that line.
I agree. Good move by Busch, and it's probably unexpected if you're Blaney. Thinking, yeah, me and my teammate are doing just fine out here on the outside. Oh, what's he doing? Now I got to push him past the other Fords. I'm in trouble.
Well, let's not forget about that Chevrolet body change and the different shapes of those front and back bumpers. Not only are the teams that run Chevrolets learning about their cars, but the other competitors. Ryan Blaney right now is trying to understand exactly how I can push this Chevy, because in the past it hasn't been great to push all over the place, might spin him out. So he's going to take this opportunity, give him a little bump here, give him a little bump there, and eventually that becomes more and more aggressive as you get more comfortable.
Or get a gap, right? What you see here, and as my teammate, comes to my bumper, push me on by him and make a move. But I don't think that'll happen because there's only 2 of those Fords now on that outside, and now Bubba Wallace, even behind Logano, may or may not go with him. So kind of put yourself in a situation where we're just going to ride right here. Won't be long until we're talking about pits. That's when I start thinking about Chandler Smith. I heard you talk about that night. I like where he's out on the bottom. I like that he's got cars both in front of him and behind him. Just make sure that you do not slide the tires and do the things that you need to do. Get some temperature in those brakes and make sure that you do not speed on pit road.
Now, what we are used to seeing when we have green flag pit stops in the dual race is the manufacturers will want to pit each of their cars together, but not with the opposing manufacturers.
Well, crew chief, what are you thinking, buddy?
Well, business has picked up. The entire field here, lap 36 and 37 just ran their fastest lap, and the wide open throttle reflects it. Those Fords at the front, they are wide open all the way around this racetrack right now.
I just saw Logano try to make his move to the bottom, and he was trying to let Blaney in, but Blaney didn't go.
Well, the whole complexion of this race just changed when Larry said that they picked up that lap time. The whole pack closed up. They went 3 wide. The lap times picked up, and now we know that the business is for real. Trying to get yourself positioned to be further forward for this pit stop, and the games are over.
Blaney's the one that missed the train.
Chandler Smith on the inside of Blaney now. No chatter on the radio yet as to which manufacturer will try to pit their cars first.
You see Mears back there. He's one of those go or go home cars, moving to the bottom. Try to catch up to those cars, get as many behind you as you possibly can.
We saw in practice they were
back in.
I'm super surprised that they said that on the radio that early. And I think a lot of times, sometimes you get too cute and try to overthink this whole scenario and you screw yourself up. So you might as well just get to pit road. But we're going to see all this play out now with the different strategies and what everybody is thinking.
This is a lot harder than it looks coming on a pit road. You are flat carrying the mail off of turn 4, and all of a sudden the depth is hard. That line is your depth meter, and it's really hard to judge the distance and how hard you can charge into the pit road.
All right, if you're Nemechek and Busch, 5th and 6th, do you pit with these Fords or do you wait and pit with the Chevrolets?
Wait a minute.
Or Toyotas?
I don't know who said pit this time, but he was lying. You were right, Kevin.
Wow.
Well, you just, the games that are played up on top of that spotter's booth and it created, and I think some of that is probably John Hunter Nemechek thinking to himself, okay, I need to keep myself back a little bit because when those guys slow down, I need to give them time to get below the yellow line so I don't have to check up.
You see these hands right here? Look for those hands coming
There
out.
we
That
go.
tells me we are definitely coming this time by.
I never really know how to eat your
You
hands.
see
Look
those-
how far
that
ahead they
spacing
are.
that everybody has right there, and that's purely to try to get a reference to be able to not run the guy over in front of you.
Here we go.